Hey, there you are. Welcome. It's Monday. A new week, a new you. We're rocking. I'm Tom Carnell. This is Carnell Knowledge, a show on which I review / recommend various movies, books, and music. Little background. I was a buyer for Tower and Record Factory and Warehouse for a long, long time, 20 years or so. I published Carpet Knock the magazine back in the 90s, which was a dark art publication. I ran several podcasts over the years, and I contributed to Fangoria and Dread Central for almost 2 decades. I'm now an author. Please check out my Amazon page for all of that information. This is a show I'm doing 3 times a week. It drops on Monday, on Wednesday, and on Friday. And I'm trying to shine a light on things that may have slipped through the cracks, things that came out a while ago that somehow didn't get the shine that I think they should have. But anyway, this is an attempt to change all that. I'm going to be starting to drop special presentations on the weekends now and again whenever the mood strikes me. Longer pieces that focus on a specific topic that I think may be of interest. It's kind of like a grind my gears situation. Please look to the description of this video. You'll find all sorts of links from trailer films for the movies, Amazon links for the books, and whole YouTube playlists for all the albums. So don't just take my word for it. Go there, click on them, check them out for yourself, and you can decide from there whether or not it's something you want to pick up. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment if you would like. I usually get back to them fairly quickly. And if you have something you want to take offline, or you have a product you want to promote, go ahead and email me at tomcarnell@gmail.com. Okay, that's a bunch of housekeeping. Let's get started on some movies. We're going to begin. This one might be a little hard to find, but I have faith in you that you'll be able to check it out. It's from 2004. It's directed and written by Kazuhiro Ishii. It's called Cha no Aji, aka Taste of Tea. It stars Mai Abano, Takira Sato, and the great Tonobu Asano. The synopsis, as we say around here, is as follows. A spell of time in the life of a family living in rural Tochigi Prefecture north of Tokyo. Though her husband is busy working in an office, Yoshiko is not an ordinary housewife. Instead of working on an animated film, she's working on an animated film at home. There's a variety of cast members, everything from her kids to distant relatives. And it talks a little bit about her trying to find herself, for want of a better word. Now, out of the box, I'm going to say this is a wildly surreal film. There's linear storytelling, kinda, but it takes off into huge flights of fancy. There is moments of this that will have you scratching your head, but overall, this is an inventive and challenging film, but with a deep, deep sense of heart. Casting is perfect. The script is super personal, clearly. Some viewers will be put off by this because it'll be just a little too wacky and out there. But stick with it. This is a great film. I thoroughly love this film, and I just never hear anyone talking about it. Again, Taste of Tea. You might check Canopy. I didn't do that, but I didn't find it on any streaming service. So I know it's out there, but you're just gonna have to work a little harder to find it. And again, check the trailer out. 10 seconds into the trailer, you'll understand whether or not this is a film for you or not. Moving on, this thing is from 2024. It's a documentary. It's available on Tubi. Directed by Daniel Griffith, and pretty much solely stars the writer C. Courtney Joyner. It's called Bigger Than Life, Bert I. Gordon in the 1950s and 1960s. If you don't know who Bird Eye Gordon was, he was a producer during that time, responsible for a lot of big bug movies, a lot of big movies. There used to be a tagline that says, "If it's big, it's Bird Eye Gordon." He did things like The Amazing Colossal Beast and had a hand in a lot of the big bug films. This is it's fairly short. It's basically a talking head flick with C. Courtney Joyner sort of going through Gordon's career. It does a very good job of representing its subject matter. It's super informative. But again, it's one guy kind of talking, and it's not quite a TED Talk, but it's close. I can't even tell you how influential Bird Eye Gordon was on modern science fiction and horror. He was a guy who did films that no one else was doing at the time, and he literally, I keep using the word big, but it's go big or go home. He did things like Tarantula and this kind of thing. Anyway, very good documentary. Like I say, it's fairly short. It's like 50 minutes, so check that out. Very cool. I like this a lot more than I probably should have. But talking head films kind of bore me. It's like opinions being like elbows, right? But anyway, highly recommended. It's on Tubi for free, so yeah, go check it out. Up next, this is also on Tubi, and this one, if you thought Taste of Tea was wacky, wait till you see this. 1977, it's directed by Nobuhiko Obayashi, stars Kumiko Ikegami, Mika Jinbo, Kumiko Oba, and it is called HAUSU, aka House. The synopsis is a schoolgirl and 6 of her classmates travel to her aunt's country home that turns out to be haunted. According to the director, this was the first Japanese film to use visual effects, and boy do they. It is, again, wildly surreal. None of the people involved, the actresses, were trained actresses. They're just more, they were just the kind of central casting kind of a thing. The script was partly inspired by Obayashi's then 12-year-old daughter, Chigumi. She told him of a fear she had that the mirror she used would eat her. This film is a fever dream. It takes a moment to get started, but it speeds up pretty quickly. Again, very, very surreal, very, very Japanese, but stupendous. It's been ripped off a bunch of times, but again, super inventive, especially for 1977. By the way, its use of color is fantastic. It rivals even Bava films, which is, if you know this channel, you know that is high praise in my book. Moving on to the next film, also available for free on Tubi, 1998, Fallen, directed by Gregory Hoblit, starring Denzel Washington, John Goodman, Donald Sutherland, Elias Koteas, that kind of a thing. Synopsis, homicide detective John Hobbs witnesses the execution of a serial killer. Soon after the execution, the killings start again, and they are all similar to Reese's style. This is a film that has stayed with me since I saw it in the late 90s. It's very creepy. It's very spooky. It's reminiscent. If you ever saw Jack Shoulder's film, The Hidden, with Kyle MacLachlan, about an entity that could travel from person to person to person. This is a fantastic film. Great casting. Has James Gandolfini in it. Ida Turturro is in it. I still think about this film a lot, an awful lot. The director went on to do a lot of television. He did episodes of Hill Street Blues, New York, NYPD Blue, LA Law. He did Cop Rock, episodes of Cop Rock. If you know what I'm talking about, you'll know why I'm laughing. He also directed things like Primal Fear, Frequency and Heart's War with Bruce Willis before ultimately returning to television. Arnold Schwarzenegger was considered for a role in this. The precinct house and squad room that are used in the film were also used in NYPD Blue. What can you say about Falling? It is, like I say, it's very, very scary. It's very, very spooky. There's not a lot of jump scares or I mean, there's some bloodletting, but there's not a lot. It's not gratuitous. But watch this one. I put off rewatching it for a while because my first viewing was pretty impressive. But I finally got around to it, and boy, does this thing hold up. Highly, 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 highly recommended. Let's see. Our last film, also available on Tubi, 1972. This is Andrei Tarkovsky's Solaris, starring Natalia Borachuk, Donatas Baniotis. Has to do with a psychologist who is up in space in a space station orbiting a distant planet. And little by little, it's not cabin fever, but it's like that. His grip on reality starts to slip a little. It's common to compare this thing to 2001: A Space Odyssey, but in my opinion, Solaris is a much better film. It holds together more. It's long. It's long. It's like 2.5 hours long. It's over an hour long. Steven Soderbergh did a remake of it in 2002 with George Clooney. But the original, the Tarkovsky film, all of Tarkovsky's films are fantastic, but Solaris especially stands head and shoulders above the rest. Imaginative, thought-provoking, wonderful sci-fi, super, super cerebral. It's a dreamlike examination of love and first contact. There are two truths available or inherent in the film. One is the inadequacy of man to understand the universe, and number two, the inadequacy of man to understand the human heart. This is a profound viewing experience, absolutely beautiful, and I highly, highly recommend it. It's one of those films that is, if you're a sci-fi fan, it's a cornerstone of the genre. So, Solaris, check it out. Moving on to books. I've made some changes in the show. I'm going to be honest with you. The reviewing of 5 books a show or 15 books a week was wearing on me. I was having to just work way too hard. So I've decided to change that. I'm going to now I'm still going to do 5 movies and 5 records, but I'm only going to review 1 book. And that should hold you over. And it should also give that book more emphasis than just a laundry list of other books. To which we're going to go through Grady Hendrix, who's a writer, and he did the great book Horror Store, which is about a haunted IKEA. I know. And a bunch of other stuff. But he did a nonfiction book with Chris Paglia, and it's this one, These Fists Break Bricks, which is it details how Kung Fu films and what they used to call chopsaki films came to America and the impact that they had. It is a must. If you're a fan of those kind of films, this is a must-have. Beautifully illustrated. I'm just going to I'm going to open this at random and I'm going to show you some things. And again, I'm just opening this thing just at random. So you can see it's wildly illustrated. I mean, every page is pretty much a work of art. We're almost done. Let's stop here. Just a fantastic, fantastic book. The minute I saw this book, a friend of mine had it. I immediately went down and grabbed it. And it was a $40 book. So it's fairly, not only is it heavy to hold, but it was kind of heavy of a pinch when it came to buying it. I'm going to be honest. Sometimes I pull this book down off the shelf when I'm in between projects or just looking to idly spend a few minutes and just generally just leaf through it. Like I say, every single page is beautiful and a work of art. And yeah, Fantastic. I'm going to hold that up again just so you can get a really good look at it. These fists break bricks. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Moving on to, let's do some records, huh? And we can get out of here. We're going to start with a band called Banda Black Rio. The album is from 1977. It's called Maria FUMACA. The band is from Rio de Janeiro. This is R&B used as a vehicle for danceable variations of something I had to look up called gafieira. It's a stylish Brazilian partner dance that originated in the 40s. Samba, instrumental jazz. This is very, very cool, very danceable and groovy, big horns, you know, that kind of a thing. It's not disco, but it's in disco's zip code, if you know what I'm saying. Reminded me of things like Kool and the Gang, Earth, Wind and Fire, Robson Jorge's, and the Brecker Brothers. Big sound in the big town, and Banda Black Rio. Check them out. You're going to really dig them. Again, go in the description, click on the link, and you can listen for yourself. Up next, this is a thing that was released in 1993. The band is called Pleasure. The album is called The Greatest of Pleasure. They are a band, or were a band, from Portland, Oregon. They blend soul, funk, and jazz, but with a little bit of a street edge. They had a big cult following in the black scene in the 70s. They're discovered by Grover Washington and handed over to members of the Jazz Crusaders. The band broke up in 81 with one hit called Glide. There are several versions of Glide on this record. But yeah, just great stuff. Great for going out, great for hanging out at night, you know, just kind of bopping around the house. The things it reminded me of, we'll get a pretty firm idea where we're at. Mandrill, Lenny White, Brass Construction, Dynasty, T-Connection. Are any of those ringing bells? This is super funk, super cool. I would throw Rolls Royce in there as well. Just great stuff. Just absolutely fantastic. Something that the minute I heard it, I didn't know of the band until I did a little poking around. But the minute I heard it, you know, you get that like, oh yeah, just right in the groove, right in the pocket, and just fantastic. Again, The Greatest of Pleasure by Pleasure. Third record, 2017. The band is called Mammal Hands. The album is called Shadowwork. They're British. They're from Norwich. This is minimalist electronica, ambient jazz, and electric music with dashes of folk and world music thrown in. This is relaxing and super modern, super inspiring, and very, very, very cool. They reminded me of Go-Go Penguin. They reminded me of Slow Rolling Camera, Matthew Halsall, and Tigran Hamasson. Check these guys out. This is perfect for like late night or at dinner. You want a little bit of a groove, but not too much. You don't want it to be too obtrusive, but still imminently listenable. Mammal Hands, Shadowwork from 2017. Great stuff. Let's see. Second to last. The band or the artist is Emil Brandqvist. The album is called Poems for Travelers. It's from 2025. They're from Sweden/Finland. This record was number one on the German jazz charts. It's piano-based atmospheric compositions that create a moving landscape, rich in melody, intricate arrangements, and inventive rhythmic foundation. It's chill, but super intellectual and absolutely beautiful. It reminded me of Soren Bebe Trio, Andre Ciccarelli, and the great Pat Metheny. This was something that came up as a result, just randomly, on a jazz new release list that I came across, and took a chance on it, and oh my God, just absolutely terrific. And then finally, we're going to go with Daniel Herskedal, Eyolf Dale, and Helge Andreas Norbakken from 2025. The album is called Movements of Air. They're Norwegian. The music is very cinematic in scope. It's almost like a film score, but just pulling back a little from that. Lush and evocative, just absolutely lovely stuff. Someone asked me about why I don't do more metal and that kind of thing, and because I don't want to. And quite frankly, everyone is doing that, and I don't really. I'm a fan, but I'm not a fan. I would much rather turn you towards something lovely and beautiful than something raucous. And again, everyone's doing that. Back to this Movements of Air record. It's music for contemplation and relaxation, and yet still deeply emotional and intellectual. Once again, it reminded me of things like slow rolling camera, Pat Metheny, Polly Mickelborg, if that rings a bell with anybody. Just great stuff. There are moments to this that, I always judge a record that I have on is whether or not I look up. If I'm doing something and I look up and I just go, oh, what was that? This record is full of those moments. Good stuff all the way around. All of these are fantastic. But yeah, once again, the highlight of this is going to be this. Go grab that. And that's going to do it. That's a Monday. We're at 21 minutes and we're rocking. I will be back on Wednesday. I have a rash of stuff I want to share with you. I'm going to show you. This is one of them. But yeah, a lot of stuff going on here at the channel. I've got the Monday, Wednesday, Friday shows. I've got these specials that I'm planning. One has to do with what I call time in the chair, and another one is kind of an expose on people paying for autographs. Spoiler, I'm not a fan. But yeah, as I'm crunching the numbers on that stuff, it's pretty mind-blowing. So a lot of things happening. Let me know how you like the show. Let me know what you want to hear. Once again, like and subscribe and all of that stuff. But most importantly, share it to your social media so that other people can hear about this and come over and see all the fun we're having. So that's going to do it. I'll see you in a couple days on Wednesday. Big stuff planned. And other than that, have a good week.